Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Ursha. My hubby and I moved to Norway in early 2021, and I want to show you around, present you Norway and show you a bit of our life. It is widely known that Norway has some of the best salaries and best working conditions globally. It is what attracts thousands of immigrants every year. While that's true, there is a slightly complex situation regarding how much people earn. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation out there, so today we'll have a look at this. The first information people usually have about Norway is that salaries are higher. They are higher, but usually at the lower end of the scale. The higher end is not that high, as their salary range in Norway is smaller than in many other places. There is no minimum wage, but Norway is heavily unionized, and the vast majority of employees in many different sectors belong to a trade union. These unions come to collective agreements on salaries and working conditions with companies, which are then applied to all workers, not just union members. Therefore, usually the wages are specified in collective bargaining agreements. It is good to know that as you get a job offer or you are browsing through job offers online, the salary stated is your gross annual income. This means that this is the amount of money you would receive before taxes. But your net wage, your actual paycheck, is also relatively easy to calculate with, for example, this online calculator. First, you need to know how much taxes, how much percentage you will pay, and this is relatively easy to calculate here. Every month you will receive a payslip with how much you earned and the employer's tax deducted. The employer has to deduct taxes from an employee's gross pay before paying the employee and transferring those taxes to the tax authorities. Everyone who works requires a tax withholding card. You can order this with tax authorities, or in Norwegian skatteetaten, every year, as it states how many percentage taxes you are going to pay. What I believe is very nice is that there is one tax spot. This situation is similar to Slovenia. In Austria, on the other hand, depending on the type of work you do, you would be a member of different insurance plans. So just as an example, a lawyer would be insured by one plan, a doctor by another one, and as a freelancer you would have a different one. The problem is that if you do some work outside your first insurance scheme and your second job puts you in another plan, you don't pay Social Security just for the additional income, but you pay it as if this was your only job. Once you use the medical services, you cannot use both your insurances, of course, but you can decide which one you will use at this particular appointment. In Norway, you have one general taxation and that's it. Social Security rates are 8.2 for employee Social Security contributions and up to 40.1% for employer Social Security contributions. Tax payments are due monthly by the 5th of the month for following payroll. As for the salary, this is where it might be a bit confusing. In Norway, you will receive 11 paychecks, but you pay taxes 10.5 times. And before you start claiming that this is a ripoff, you might check out this video right here, where I explain holiday money or feriepenger. Just in short, you would get your regular salary 11 months and holiday money, which in other countries is divided among the 12 salaries you get, is in Norway paid out at once, usually in June. The height of it depends on how many holiday days you're entitled to and your age. Most of the employees in Norway are entitled to a minimum of 21 days of annual holidays, but many companies provide more. So with 21 vacation days, your holiday pay should be 10.2% of the yearly remuneration and 12% if you have 25 days. You get additional percentages if you are over 60 years of age, and this is basically the holiday money, your 12th salary. I also said an employee pays taxes 10.5 times. While you pay the regular tax amount on 10 out of your 11 salaries, the state deducts only half of the usual tax in December. So if you usually would pay 30% of taxes on your paycheck, roughly stating, you only would pay 15% in December. But let's have a look at the Norwegian tax system. Income tax is charged on a progressive scale, meaning the more you earn, the more you pay as a percentage of your income. It consists of a base rate and a step tax. The base rate is 22% of your gross income, and people who live in the northern Norway would have some benefits as they only pay 18.5% base rate. The step tax or tax brackets are the percentages you produce according to the height of your salary. For the first 184,000 Norwegian kroners of your gross income, you don't pay any tax, but after this there are 4 tax levels. Level 1 includes gross income higher than 184,000 Norwegian kroners and up to 260,000 Norwegian kroners, and is taxed with 1.7%. The next tax level goes for the gross income up to approximately 650,000 Norwegian kroners and is taxed with 4.0%. Level 3 includes gross income exceeding 650,000 Norwegian kroners and goes up to 1,020,000 Norwegian kroners and is taxed with 13.2%. Everything exceeding this amount is level 4 and is taxed with 16.2%. As well as with the base rate, there is another advantage for people living in the far north, as for the level 3, they only pay 11.2% instead of 13.2%. The tax year goes from January 1st to December 31st, and returns are due by April 30th each year. Of course, everyone with income and assets to taxation in Norway must submit a tax return to the Norwegian tax authorities. The tax authorities will send out a tax return in late March, early April, after the end of the income year. That tax return is pre-completed with information received by Norwegian Tax Administration from employers, banks, insurance companies, daycare centers, etc. Everybody must or should review it and indicate that the data is correct. If it is valid, nothing else is required, but otherwise the taxpayer must make the corrections and submit it again by the filing deadline. In the end, if you paid too much, you'll receive a rebate through the following year's tax return process, and if you didn't pay enough, you would have due dates to settle the amount. Let's continue with working hours. Typically, there are 8 or 9 working hours per day, and Saturday also counts as a working day. An employee must have at least one break if daily working hours exceed 5 hours and 30 minutes. The use of overtime as a permanent arrangement is not permitted. Overtime is only allowed when there is a unique and time-limited need for it. The overtime is paid with a minimum of 40% supplement in addition, but many agreements have better terms. Okay, so this would be all for today, and I hope you got some insight to your paycheck in Norway. Again, I just want to remind you to check out this video about holiday money, as this is one of the most confusing topics about work and salary in Norway. And also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified every time a new video comes online. So for this one, thank you for watching, have a great week, and I will see you next Saturday. Ha det!